everybody. Welcome to Sports Grind Season 2, Episode 15. My name is Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Perella.
And today, we just have one thing to talk about, and that's the NFL. A lot has happened over this weekend, and let's talk about it. So Week 11, which was last Sunday, we kick off with the Steelers, remain 10-0 due to facing bad teams still, like the Jaguars. But they won 27-3. And honestly, the Steelers need more of a challenge. These past couple weeks, they just have been playing these terrible teams, and they're not getting any improvement from that. So they're just taking wins. It's basically free wins.
Yeah, definitely. Pittsburgh's got to play better competition. The Jaguars are just an absolute wreck right now.
And they're not going to the playoffs either. So
no.
PJ Walker, as we talked about him a long time ago. If you guys know our Season 1 episodes, we talked about how PJ Walker was like the MVP in the XFL.
Yeah, I mean, he was just tearing up the league every single time when I would go through my quarterback breakdowns. He was number one every week. He just showed out. And now we got with that opportunity he had in the XFL, he signed a deal with the Carolina Panthers.
And he's doing just as well.
Exactly.
Let me tell you that.
Teddy Bridgewater was out, and now PJ Walker got the start.
Literally won that game.
They did.
They won.
Shutout. It was a shutout.
Yes, it was.
They destroyed them.
But with 258 yards and a touchdown, PJ Walker was the man to look at, obviously. They won 20-0 against the Lions. Now, that was a shutout right there. The Lions are a good team, so the fact that the Panthers, who are low in their division, were capable to do that, that's big things for the Panthers. You might as well keep out PJ Walker, honestly.
Yeah, also, I'm just so happy for this guy. I mean, talk about a guy that bounced around as a backup, and then he finally got a shot in the XFL, and guess what? He made it.
It worked out.
It's working out. This guy's a ball.
Texans pulled off a win 27-20 against the Pats. Newton fell off second half, and the Pats are now 4-6. Now, the Patriots, they just lost a big game right there to the Texans. Texans are not that good of a team. But this just shows that the Patriots are really low right now in the league, and they really need to pick themselves up. This is not the Patriots we've been looking at a couple years back. This is a completely new ball game for Newton now and a new team, and it's really hard for them. So the fact that they lost against Deshaun Watson and the Texans is a bad thing right there.
It really is bad, and it's just like, if they had any shot of making the playoffs, they had to beat the Texans. And now they're probably going to go 8-8, 7-9, maybe 9-7 at best, looking outside of the playoffs.
I don't even think Belichick is seeing where the problem is, because they've been constantly getting these losses. So like, they're not 100% sure of where, is my defense bad or is my offense good? He doesn't know that. And it's pretty clear.
Two things the Patriots need to work on for next season. Number one, they got to go get themselves a new quarterback. Cam Newton is not that guy like he was a couple years ago.
No.
And number two, they got to go get some wide receivers. Julian Edelman isn't playing. They're playing with randos. I mean, Tom Brady's not there anymore.
They need a better strategy. Because
right now, better receivers.
Right now, their play calls are very bad. Very bad. Like Patriots, what happened to that play call? What happened to these strategies that you had going into games? Now that you're just relying on, it's pretty clear that they're relying on Newton right now. And it's not helping the team at all.
Exactly. And another thing is that Tom Brady was so good, he could run that Bill Belichick type of offense. But now that Cam Newton is there, he's just not the same player that he was. He can't run that offense. So they got to find a quarterback that can run that offense. I don't know who that is yet, but they got to answer that in the next offseason.
I agree. Ravens been losing some games lately, as it took another upset in overtime. And honestly, I guess Tannehill was the man to look at, honestly, in this game, as the Ravens lost 30-24 against the Titans. Titans, look out. They're hot right now. Especially with Tannehill.
They really are hot right now. I mean, Tannehill's resurgence is still continuing this season. And how about that man, Derrick Henry, running up for that game-winning touchdown? I mean, that was really impressive.
And also with the touchdowns was Tannehill, too. He got some touchdowns, too.
He did.
Just for a QB to get more than 2 or just 2 touchdowns is pretty good, because you're relying on your offense, not just yourself as a quarterback.
Another interesting part of this game is what's gone on with the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, the Cleveland Browns are ahead of them in the standings now. They're down to 3rd in their division.
Eagles are also slumping every so often, as they lost 2 games in a row now. They lost 22-17 against the Browns. Browns are really up right now. They've been winning so many games right now. Browns playoff spot, do you think?
I'm going to go no. I just don't think that they're good enough. I think they've been playing a lot of easy competition. I mean, Carson Wentz and the Eagles are so dreadful right now that the Browns can just win these games. They're going to have a tough schedule coming up. I think they're going to miss the playoffs. And
I can judge what you said right there, actually. I think the Browns will make it.
Really?
I do.
Interesting.
Yes, I literally think the Browns are going to make it. But the thing is that way when they get into the playoff round 1, they're going to lose. I feel like.
Yeah, if they make the playoffs at all, they're going out first.
They're going
first
out,
exit.
yeah.
That's
because they have been facing bad teams, you're right about that. But just think their play style, too. I mean, so what, they're facing bad players. They have their defense and offense to look at. And every player's own stuff. They could definitely come out of their shell and play really well. You'll be surprised. The Browns, I mean, they're that secret team right now to look at because they might come on top.
I definitely think that the Browns are getting overslept a little bit, but I just think that there's better teams in the AFC than the Browns right now.
100%, yeah. Without Breeze, the Saints still managed to get it done as they downed the Falcons 24-9. Kamara got the job done, as well as Taysom Hill. Now, Taysom Hill is a really good guy. I know he's been playing with the Saints this season because they sometimes would take out Breeze and would let Taysom Hill to go in. Taysom Hill actually is playing really well. Sometimes he would have like those off plays, but he's a very consistent guy, and I like that. Especially Kamara too. We've seen a huge rise in Kamara as the season went on.
You're absolutely right. Alvin Kamara's been a great part of their offense. But the real question for this game was, is Taysom Hill even a starting level NFL quarterback? Because no one even saw him, start an NFL game before this game. They've seen him there and there, whether it's an X factor, using him in running situations, catching situations, sometimes throwing the ball for Breeze. But he didn't really start a game. This is the first time where he started, and he looked good. Hopefully that production will continue.
Bengals completely fell off as they lost 20-9 against Washington. Now, look out for Washington State. They won a big game against the Bengals. Bengals are one of the worst teams in the league right now. Bengals are not doing well right now.
And they're even worse now that Joe Burrow's hurt.
Well, also that, but the Washington State football team, we should have been looking at them a couple weeks back because they were coming up close. They almost won that last game. I remember they came close. They lost by 3 points against the Lions last weekend. So honestly, the Washington State football team, they're on a rise. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs? No, but
yeah, I mean, actually, there is a small chance that they could because of how bad the division is.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cowboys and the Giants and the Washington football team are all, they're getting closer to the Eagles because they've been slipping a little bit. So anything is possible. But I agree with you. I think in the end they won't make it.
They won't make it.
2 points I want to point out.
They are improving now.
One thing about Washington, Alex Smith is doing a heck of a job right now, and he should get a lot of credit for that. And number 2 is about Cincinnati. They're not going to win a game the rest of the season. Joe Burrow elevated their team to a place that a lot of people didn't think that they would elevate them to. But now that Joe Burrow's not going to play again,
they got to rely on their backup.
Yeah.
Which it might be not a good thing.
It's not. Their 2 backups are Brandon Allen and Ryan Finley. None of them have had success in the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's going to look bad for the Bengals. But you know what? When Burrow comes back, you guys are going to get a top pick. You guys are going to be dangerous
next season. Who knows? Next season, yes. Who knows? Jets lost again, 28-34 against the terrible Chargers. Now, what's your thoughts as a Jets fan? They're losing games and it's just not stopping.
Well, continue to lose. Get Trevor Lawrence. Move on. That's all I gotta say.
Trevor Lawrence is right now the key factor for the Jets.
He is.
Now, so
just move on.
Broncos were also on a hunt as Melvin Gordon went off and led the Broncos to win 20-13 against Tua and the Dolphins. Now that was a big win. The Dolphins finally got their hot streak down as they lost to the Broncos. Now the Broncos do have injured players, as we know, but them managing to beat the Dolphins, that shows something. But I still don't think this is their season.
For the Broncos?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's their season either. Too many injuries. Maybe they'll go get it next year, but I'm totally out on their quarterback, dancing Drew Lock. I mean, every single time he scores his touchdown, he dances, but he always loses. Stop dancing. Stop dabbing and stuff. Just stop that stuff, please. It's getting ridiculous. Win the football games. Got it? Please.
Well, also, I think Tua, doesn't deserve to lose like that because Tua has proven himself in these past weeks. But
Oh, definitely.
honestly,
Tua's really proved himself.
he has. Apparently, also we take you over to the Cowboys. Andy Dalton actually played really well. Normally, he's not that good of a player, but he proved himself. I mean, 3 touchdowns, beating the Vikings 31-28 is really something right there. The Cowboys winning, who knew? They actually won, and
I know.
the Cowboys should be happy for themselves. Are they going to make it to the playoffs? No. They got that win. They should feel happy about that, but honestly, it's not going to, with all those losses they gotten, I don't think this win's going to help them. But good win, though.
It is a good win. I think they're similar to the Washington, how the division's so bad.
Yeah.
If they get on a win streak, they can win the division. But
I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, the Cowboys,
yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's the Giants to win the division to lose, in my opinion.
Yeah, honestly, I agree.
And they also beat the Vikings, who were on a hot streak. So
Yeah.
that was a good win for the Cowboys.
Thelin, though, is on a downfall, though, like he has been. He's been trying to pick up these wins, but he can't just truly get that team chemistry right now for the Vikings because every time that they play, they just can't seem to catch a football. Especially from Thelin. Thelin is trying. We see improvement in him, but he's not getting the job done that it's supposed to for the Vikings.
Yeah, he's got to be better.
That's why the Vikings are not going to probably make it to the playoffs due to Thelin. Because it's not only just Thelin, it's also the other teams. But, like, he's the main guy that I think is letting down the team. So, good game in Indianapolis as the Colts were able to down Rodgers in overtime. That was a really good win, 34-31 against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Now, the Colts, I mean, Phillip Rivers played so well.
He did. He played extremely well. Probably one of his best games of the entire season. But really, the guy who got the job done in the end for the Colts is Hot Rod, their kicker. He's really doing well. His name is Rodrigo Blankenship. Everyone just says respect the specs, and you know what?
He helped the Colts in overtime. He really helped the Colts.
He did. I mean, the most popular kicker in the NFL is getting the job done as a rookie.
I don't know.
This guy's
him or Lutz. I mean,
Lutz has been good for a long time, but this kid for the Colts,
he's a rookie, and honestly, we see a lot of him. I honestly think he's going to help the Colts win a lot of games.
He is. With that leg and that personality, man, the Colts.
When you need a field goal,
stacked,
yes. When you worry about the field goal and everything, leave it on him because I mean he's getting the job done. It makes it look easy. I saw him play; he wasn't missing at all.
Definitely.
So,
and one last thing about the Packers: why didn't you trade for anyone defensively in the trade deadline? Aaron Rodgers can't do it himself, and now you're letting him fend for himself again. Bad job, Packers. You should have helped Aaron Rodgers more.
Chiefs also were dominant in Vegas as Mahomes and Edward Hilaire popped off. Derek Carr also did well for the Raiders, but the Chiefs won 35-31. That was a very close game. Raiders are actually that good. They're actually looking good this season.
They are looking good.
But the Chiefs, though, I mean, that was kind of a tough game for them, honestly.
It was really tough for them, but you know what? What I really respect about both of these teams is that they're both competitive and they both never give up. That's
we
what I
should see
respect
these
about
teams
this
play
team.
in the future again.
Definitely.
Who knows?
Chiefs are probably the favorite in the AFC right now, but the Raiders
they're sneaking into the playoffs. Watch out.
The Raiders are a playoff team.
Yep.
They're sneaky good offensively. They can definitely upset one of the teams in the AFC. Like they can upset the Titans. They can upset the Steelers. They're a total upset.
We've seen
team.
games like this before in the season, so why not see it again with the Raiders? We possibly will. They just need to improve their defense a little bit, and they're good.
They are. They're improving both sides of the ball, and Derek Carr's finally getting some help for the first time in years, and it's showing.
I think it's also just the management, too, that's just helping him. He's getting the support that he needs, because back then when they were in Oakland, he was not on his game plan. He was upset being in Oakland. Now he's actually happy, and he finally is happy to know where he is in the team.
You're definitely right about better management. Getting back their Hall of Fame coach in John Gruden, who really set the standard back a long time ago, and then hiring a nice general manager, Mike Mayock from the NFL Network, who knows what he's doing. It's just a pleasure to see the Las Vegas Raiders
100%.
are a really good team.
Jared Goff also had a great game, putting 3 touchdowns on the Bucks, winning 27-24. Don't sleep on Fournette as well. He really helps out the Bucks right now. I think they're relying on Fournette and Antonio Brown right now. Bucks are looking pretty good, but honestly, I think the Bucks are going to be pretty down at this year. Though losing that game was pretty tough.
It was pretty tough for the Bucks. They got to win more games consistently. Like sometimes they get a win and then a loss and then a win and
it's
then
just
a loss.
like the Bears, because we've seen that with the Bears. We kind of can relate that to the Buccaneers.
Right, but the Buccaneers are
just
way better than the Bears.
They need to
every
work on
facet.
if they want to beat if they ever play the Saints again in the future, they need to beat the Saints.
They do.
They
and
need to actually beat the Saints to prove themselves. And after they lost from the Saints, that's really hurting their team performance right now.
It is. And Tom Brady's got to play better. He's got to rally the team.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the Bucs are going to be a very good Super Bowl team, but if they're this inconsistent, I don't see them winning the Super Bowl.
I don't either. Honestly, I think that's a good point that you made. As we also wrap it up for today, as tomorrow is week 12, so stay tuned to that. So yeah, without further ado, I'm Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Burrell.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Sports Guys Season 2, Episode 15.